Hi, Cole. I'm Gary Kopas of Kopas Boxing again.
Still Kopas
Still,
boxing?
yeah. Um, yeah, I'm the owner slash coach slash almost. This is horrible. Can we don't put this on, please? Please don't. Just don't. Yeah. So now I'm like trying to think of stuff and then it's screwing me up here. Um, yeah, owner at Kopas Boxing. Um, Slash, well, promoter now. Well, I guess
Yeah.
we've always promoted events, but this is a huge one. This is the we're going into professional boxing, so we're gonna have a huge pro am event, um, June 13th at Prairieland Park, featuring a lot of top amateurs. From we have about 3 or 4 Canadian champions, on the amateur side, and just top athletes from all over Western Canada as far as Ontario. Um, and then obviously the pros, right? We have 3 amazing pro matches. Obviously yourself making your pro debut, Alexis Kubicki, um, making some history here in Saskatchewan. She's going to be boxing for the WBA world title, which is amazing. And yeah, it's history in the making, right? There's never been a professional world title fight in Saskatchewan, period. I think I was the closest with the international title that I won at Sastel Center a while back. So it's really awesome to be, doing this and having that world title fight on the card as the semi-main event. And then we have hometown hometown hero, Logan Kluche. He's 9-0 as a professional, going to be going for the 10-0. We're just in the works of finalizing his opponent, but if that works out, it's going to be an all international fight, right? All the pros are fighting internationally, whether it's Guatemala or, well, yourself fighting a gentleman from Louisiana, so USA. So yeah, big international pro event on top with some great amateur boxing. That was way off of who I am. I just went right into the events.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's not too far off because, yeah, this boxing stuff consumes a lot of my life.
Yeah. How has this been different than putting on an amateur show?
Oh my god, it is a million times more stressful. Um, I can't even describe like how much more stressful it is. I've had some great help, great guidance from a few people in the pro game. I won't mention any names right now, but they've been a huge help. Helping with the matchmaking, helping with just the ins and outs of the pro side. I've dealt with it a lot more on the boxer side, and I've dealt with a lot of promoters and such because I pretty much managed myself most of my career. So I know what goes on there, but just having the extra contacts, being able to reach these guys quicker and stuff, it's been a blessing that way. And yeah, just helping make this event the biggest, best event that Saskatchewan has seen. So we got a lot of support from outside of Saskatchewan, even like meaning certain boxing matchmakers and just people helping promote the event outside of Saskatchewan. So that's pretty cool.
What's like the biggest learning curve from this?
Biggest learning curve. That's a good question. It's like I don't know, like just I haven't learned too much, I don't think, so far. I know there's still a lot of days left,
Yeah.
but the stress amount, like this is the amount of stress. I knew it was coming. I just didn't, feel the stress till it actually happened. But the biggest thing is well, you guys, the pros, right? Because there's so much more detail in the medicals. There's so many different forms and making sure that they have it, and then depending on ages, and there's so many little things on top of our amateur side that the professionals have for that extra safety because, well, it's professional. It's, it's dangerous. It can be dangerous if not done properly and with the right, medical stuff, right? So that's probably the biggest obstacle, is just dealing with so many details of the pro side. And as always, our shows are huge and very awesome and detailed. So
Mhm.
we're hitting all that stuff too. So um yeah, I would say just the details of the pro stuff is has been the biggest challenge. And again, I already knew it was going to be stressful, but I didn't even imagine how stressful it could be.
Right.
Um, but yeah, it's coming.
For people who don't know or are kind of just like out of the loop of boxing in general, what is the main difference between amateur and pro when it comes to a competition?
Well, the difference, well, there's no headgear for the pros. The gloves are smaller. They hurt a lot more. Um, well, you guys, there's money involved in purses. Amateurs don't directly get paid. Um, what else? Yeah, just a lot more, like I said, a lot more medical stuff included, details, and then yeah, and then just the hype, the excitement.
Mhm.
Of any pro event over an amateur event, it is, building that big hype of having the pros here, and especially, this caliber of pros in our first go at a pro am event, right? It's pretty huge. Like I said earlier, world title fight, undefeated Logan, undefeated you. All right. Oh no, you said you don't you don't have no.
What do you call under winning? Under
Oh, you're undefeated. Just keep it that way.
Okay.
Sounds better. Right. And again, with the caliber of the lady matches, world title fight, they've both been in the ring with the top in their divisions. They both have been in the ring with world champions going for a world title. You know, they both been in there. They've seen it all
Mhm.
in the pros and women's division. So yeah, it's a huge going on. Yeah, just the event. It's huge, and excited to be part of it.
Yeah. I think too, like the exciting part is like, even though this is like a minor detail, but it kind of isn't, is like optically, like visually, pro looks like the safety that amateur looks kind of takes the excitement down a bit.
Yeah,
For somebody who doesn't understand boxing and they're just going to see two people fight, it's like so much equipment kind of takes the excitement away. Then you see people shirts off, no headgear, smaller gloves, and like it's like, okay, this is, and the I guess the fighting style too is more significant strikes mean more than touches. So then it's like people are sitting on their punches more, So the actual fight itself too looks more exciting.
yeah, definitely. And like you just said, with especially headgear, honestly, headgear are is for safety, but as you probably know, headgear is more for headbutts, and
Right.
because we'd be having headbutts every fight, and, these amateur boxers that don't have the skill development yet, there'd be a lot of clash of heads and stuff, and obviously it hurts more. But the main purpose of head guards is to prevent that kind of stuff. Hence why there's no head guards in the international amateur circuit, because um, yeah, they're skilled enough that head clashes are few and far between. Um, but yeah, no, that's a great point. So yeah, there's it's the hurt game really. In pros, yes, it hurts an amateur also, as we know, but it hurts a lot more. You're gonna find you're gonna find out, but
Yeah.
it's it's exciting. There's nothing. Well, to me, there's not too much like it, right? And probably yourself also. Any boxer that's been around knows, when you fall in love with the sport, it's you can't explain it.
Wait,
You really can't.
what changed for you going from amateur to pro?
Well, it hurt a lot more. Again, the gloves are smaller. When I did go pro, I was young. It kind of was just I didn't have any support pretty much. I didn't have a coach at the time. I yeah, I didn't have any management or anything behind me. So I know like my first pro fight was in Winnipeg. I went to Winnipeg, fought a guy from Mexico who was a deport from the Pan American Games that happened there. He stayed, and I was going in there as the opponent. I had a lot of fans on my side just because from history and friends and stuff from Winnipeg. But yeah, so I was kind of behind the eight ball right off the bat, and then my first couple matches again I didn't have that team support, management support. That was a big difference that you're getting now. So I hope you enjoy it because
Mhm.
again, back then, professional boxing wasn't even allowed in Saskatchewan. They took that away to, for pretty much since I turned pro. So I spent most of my career being the B side, being sent in to lose, right? So it was a lot harder to pull out wins and stuff when because promoters and they don't want the B side winning coming into the fights, right? Because you want the hometown guy to win. Obviously, that's what promoters want, right? So that's probably the toughest part. And I just back then I didn't have the support, and then as when I came started fighting again as I was older, had more support, just more life, more just knew more people and such too. So that's probably the biggest factor.
Mm. I think like yeah, I don't I don't know if it's a good thing or not doing my first pro in Saskatoon. But we'll find out, I guess,
Oh, it's a great thing.
Because amateur, I only fought here once.
Really?
In all the amateurs I did, I
Yeah.
was I always just
Only
left,
once. Yeah.
and the only time I fought here was Joshua.
That was a big one.
That was a big one.
So yeah, I mean, that's a huge. I'm sure the nerves are going to be through the roof, but it's how you use them, right? So yeah, I would definitely say no. You're way better off having your first match and every match, right? Because
Yeah, yeah,
you're gonna have the support of your friends, family, fans, teammates, everything, right? And that's priceless. That can
right.
get you through some tough times for sure. Um, but yeah, no, I think I would if I could do it again, obviously I would, that would be the best scenario, but didn't have that option. So no, I would, like I said, I would enjoy it and love every second of it because you will.
Mm,
Yeah. So
that's what do you think? Like I guess putting this together and doing the matches. When you think of matchmaking, like it's not like it's any different, I guess, for amateur. Like people pull out last second things, but I guess just like the cost of putting on an amateur show isn't as significant as a pro show. So having people pull out, not sure if fights are gonna happen.
yeah, that is a big stress. Obviously for the pros, there's again more detail behind it, and with money behind it, and the odds of people, not showing up are very few and far between. And we got some great opponents coming in, and they're professionals, right? They're not. This
Yeah,
isn't again amateur. Even on our amateur, like all our shows, it's been very rare to have somebody not show up or I think it's happened, especially in the last few shows. I think it's we've maybe lost one match or whatever, but we've had a lot of like perfect matchmaking in the sense of everybody shows up, everybody's within their weight limits, and that doesn't happen so much on our shows. I think part of it being, I spend a lot of time following up with the coaches weekly, daily, sometimes, depending. So that makes a huge difference. And then just the caliber of our shows, right? Look at the belts you win on our shows, the event itself, right? The lights,
Yeah.
the big show, right? People want to fuck with it, right? And, well, not not that they want to be part of it. They want to be on it, right? So these kids, adults fighting for these belts, you know, if they're, no showing or, pretty much, just fucking up the show and fucking up their match, then they know most likely they're not going to get a call again for to be on these shows. And just winning those big beautiful belts, these ones are huge. You'll see them. And we actually have belts for the pros also, so
Mhm.
um from our big champion sponsors. So yeah, so I think that's a big part of it, just having the great show, the beautiful belts, and just being part of something as big as it is. I think it helps keep the people more dedicated to showing up. And not that any other show isn't as important, but again, those things, right? Like if they do immature amateur stuff, in the sense of, like, being true to their word and blah blah blah, then yeah, they just won't be considered for the next show,
Right.
right? And I think that's a big part of it too. So
I think that's like the nice thing about your shows is that your shows are always like an experience too. Like they're well done. It's like a cool atmosphere, even like the DJ and the announcer, like they're part of the show and it's like an experience. It's not just a boxing match, you
yeah,
know?
definitely, right? DJ EXL, he's been with us for a long time. And then Cal Arkan, he's an amazing announcer all over the place. He's involved with so many different things. Um, you know, yeah, he's a great announcer and just really knows how to fire people up.
Yeah.
And just a big loud, energetic person that brings the energy as an announcer. And then obviously the athletes, right? So yeah, it's cool to have those guys. And again, we're just building every time, and obviously going into the pros. But like you're saying, right, we just learn from our last show, and it just keeps getting
Right.
better and better. And now with the pros, it's just a whole new ball game, right? So it's exciting to be able to do this, and then have a home for you guys to
Yeah.
be able to perform professionally. And that gives those little guys, the kids, building up, gives them hope to, I want to be a pro. I want to be like Cole Smith, fighting at home in front of, thousands of people, really, right? So
Mhm.
um yeah, so it's super exciting.
Nice to expand on that is that's your goal is to have 1 or 2 shows a year pro?
Yeah, definitely. This is definitely a lot bigger, a lot more work. But like, I'm always working on the show, right? If when this one's over, our next show, October 4th, Truth and Reconciliation show. I'm already working on it. We have the venue booked, which will be Dakota Dunes. At the casino there. So yeah, I'm always working on shows, but yeah, with the pros and stuff, yeah, it would be nice to have two, three, even three, but that's a lot. But even two pro shows to be able to fight at home twice a year, um, I think would be huge for you guys, right? So
Mhm.
for everybody involved, right, and it just builds boxing. And you'll see the amateur side grow and grow too, as it is. But this will make it grow even faster, because again, we're giving these young athletes a place to call home, right, instead of always being the opponent in other provinces and states and such, right? So
And I think like you said, like them seeing it is powerful,
yeah,
you know? When you just like, seeing it on TV is one thing, but
yeah,
seeing it at home and seeing people and that you've trained with, inspired with, kinda gives you that extra.
yeah, that extra energy, that extra everything, and even with the amateurs, as right, you win a belt. It's so cool to see in our past events, adults, kids, doesn't matter, after they win their fight and they're walking around with the belt on their shoulder and, with pride, with just happiness, right? And they're getting pictures with their family members and whatever else, right? That's the stuff that we're building with this, and it's priceless. It really is,
Mhm.
right? So, um, yeah, just it's exciting. It's been a quite a journey already, but it's only starting, so it's pretty huge.
I guess speaking of the amateurs, do you want to chat about some of the amateur fights that we got last night?
Yeah, I can wing it. I don't have it in front of me, but one that well, we got many great ones. We got So we have a female feature bout also, Havana Demir. She just competed in Thailand as on the national boxing team, representing Canada. She's from Meadow Lake originally. Well, she lives there now. She's still there. Yeah, so she just competed in Thailand. She's going to be boxing a young lady from Ontario who is also a Canadian champion. Um, so yeah, we got Canadian champion versus Canadian champion. Then we also have another young man from the same club, coming from Ontario. He's going to be boxing Liam Pagalang, who is also a Canadian champion, junior athlete, Canadian champion that just won nationals recently. So we got at least three or four Canadian champions on the amateur side. We have top, um, high level, top, you know, amateur boxers. We have Rabil Issa, from Alliance Boxing. He's gonna be one of the headliners for sure. Um, and his little cousin. And
Yeah.
yeah, we got some great local talent. Hades Baldhead from Arrow Cree Boxing Club in One Arrow, one of our branches of Kopas Boxing. He's going to be in there. Yeah, so again, lots of great local talent. Ethan Frostad from Copas Boxing. He's lined up with the gentleman from Lloydminster. So yeah, lots of great local matches, lots of great local high caliber amateur boxing to go along with these pros.
Mm. So what are you most excited for June 13th?
Well, I'm honestly,
For it to be
I
over.
well, June 14th is going to be a relaxing day for sure, but no, I can't wait for it to happen. It's just all the work that happens with it. I mean, obviously, the pro side is going to be a whole new experience for so many people that
Yeah.
have never experienced it. And I think, just seeing the faces and seeing the results of it is going to be pretty priceless for myself and a lot of people, right? So I'm really excited about the pros. And yeah, I mean that's the big add on here. Yeah, I honestly like all three are going to be amazing matches. You know, um, and you guys being local, you know, and then making history with Alexis. I know Alexis, but I don't know her.
Right.
I know you. I know Logan. So it's exciting. It's exciting to see all three of you guys, right? So
Have you planned this? So on the night you can just chill a little bit, or are you gonna be running
no,
around all
no,
night?
it'll be craziness, I'm
Okay.
sure. Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I'll definitely be coaching. And then yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to have some freedom, but it never happened. I'm always all over the place, but I'm excited for it and being able to, I wanna be able to see and talk and chat with everybody, as many people as I can, right? But yeah, no, I'll definitely be working. It never ends, but I'm definitely, hopefully, gonna have some freedom to take part in you know a little more than normal. So um, yeah, it's getting exciting for sure.
Is there anything about the event that you want to touch on, or that you want to mention that we haven't talked about?
Well, a cool added feature. One of our head champion sponsors, Head Rush Saskatoon here. They've been support for quite a long time. they're gonna be having a display. They're bringing in a Lamborghini and a souped up Corvette. Potentially getting pictures. With the Lamborghini. Win your fight. You got this big beautiful belt, and get a picture. Um, with you know Head Rush and their Lamborghini and Corvette, and just that's a cool new feature we got going on for this one. Um, and yeah, just I don't know. That's the biggest thing that. Well, there's going to be lots of new stuff. Don't get me wrong, but definitely that's another add-on to again our events. Just keep getting bigger and better, right? So who knows what we'll come up with next, and that will be a cool added feature to everything else, right? So um, yeah, that's the biggest thing offhand, but obviously the pros, right?
Yeah.
That's a whole new ball game and exciting to bring it here.
I'm pumped to see Logan
Yeah, oh
because
yeah,
he's a great boxer. He's such a good boxer,
yeah.
but like the display he puts on while he's boxing is always fun too. He's
Mhm.
fun. He's having fun in there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, and yeah, he's exciting. He can end a fight with any punch, especially the liver, right?
Mhm.
He's exciting. He, you know, uh, showboats, but it's pro, right? You're supposed to showboat with class and skill, right? If um Yeah, and again, it can end the fight at any time. Um, and like you said, right, he's undefeated. There's a reason for it, right? He's beaten a lot of great guys, and only moving up the rankings. So that's the thing. We're just finalizing his opponent. But it's been a journey that way too, right? Because I don't care what it says you know um, on the internet, on social media, but I personally talked to quite a few boxers and managers, and then that had other people, but nobody wants to fight them, right? And if they do, they want you know a lot of money because they know they know what they're getting into when you're getting in the ring with Logan. So it's been a challenge finding an opponent, but it's working out, and that's the other part, right? I don't want to bring in a bus driver for Logan, right? He's 9-0. It's his home debut in the main event. He wants to fight somebody that's gonna really put up a fight, and he wants to show Saskatoon, show Saskatchewan, what he's made of, and that he can compete with the best and stuff, right? So that's also been part of the challenge, right? We don't want a nice easy fight for him that he's gonna win first round knockout. We don't want that. He wants to show that he can take a punch, give a punch, and work in the trenches when he needs to. All right, pit stop.
Our ice caps just got here.
Yeah. Hopefully my whipped cream is still intact.
My mocha. Hmm.
Or not. Maybe. What does sticker say?
Nothing. Always fresh. Well, we'll have to taste test them. Oh, M mocha right there. Okay, that one's yours.
I don't have your reach, Cole. You're gonna have to pass me a little better than that one. I guess so. I guess I could have got up.
Well, I guess we're coming up to half right now. If you want to just give a shout out to any sponsors or give a shout out to your team or anybody that's on your mind that has kind of helped put all this together.
Well, I'd be here for another 3 hours if I started naming
Right.
off everybody that has been a part of this and helped in any shape, way, or form. But I do want to give a shout out to our champion sponsors, um, our largest sponsors that, without them, this definitely wouldn't be possible. So Head Rush Saskatoon, Head Rush Saskatchewan, they've been a huge champion sponsor for us, and they do some great kick-ass tattoos, that's for sure. I know for a fact because I got one on my leg. Uh, and then, I want to thank Nasimsuck and DJ EXL, champion sponsors. Um, they're also very valued and as normal, right? DJ EXL rocking the tunes at our events for great entries and such. And then Fun Motorsports. They've been a supporter for quite a while now. Um, yeah, they're coming in full force. Um, and yeah, that's about it for our champion sponsors. We are actually in the works of hopefully one more. We have room for one more. So if you if you get at me right quick, you could be part of history, part of this huge event, right? So that's about it.
Right on. Okay, well, switch sides.
All right, all right.
Switch sides.
I'm more nervous about this, but
No pressure.
all right.
So if you look at the top of that phone there, it's like probably 32 minutes right now.
Yeah,
So around an hour.
we'll see if I can come up with a half an hour.
You'll be good.
Well, you make it look so easy. All right.
It was all you.
All right, Cole. Welcome to Cole does sorry, never mind. I got it.
Rough start. Rough start.
Sandman does podcasts. That one. Yeah. Yeah. All
Cole
right.
does interviews.
Cole does interviews. Yes, sir. Um, how's it going, Cole?
Good. Pretty good. I think
Good.
I did a 21-kilometer run this morning.
Oh, sounds horrible. But
No, it was good.
good job. Be
And
careful.
then I went to a book club. That's
Ooh.
why I had to postpone this till
Oh,
3:30.
okay.
I forgot that I joined one.
Reading's cool. You forgot you joined one?
Yeah.
That must be the boxer part.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. Who got you into that?
Kayla
Okay.
Henneque, Naval
Oh.
Wellness.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
I wish I read a little more than I do, but I've read a few books in my day.
you're busy, man.
Yeah. That's my
You're
excuse.
way busier than me.
Yeah.
For
Well,
sure.
I'm not gonna lie. My downtime is playing crib with my mom on
Oh, nice.
Facebook at night and playing Candy Crush. When I should be sleeping. That's what I do with any extra time I have. I play crib on Facebook with my mom, and
What's the win-loss ratio?
we ever I can't keep track. There's too many
Yeah.
games, but we like to beat each other with love.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, there's been very back and forth overall, but enough about me. Enough about me. All right, Cole. Right? Yes. June 13th, you're having your pro debut in front of hopefully well over 1,000 people.
That's wild.
Obviously, yeah,
That's
online.
wild.
Yeah, online. It's gonna be seen by many, many. Um, yeah, what does it mean to you to have your pro debut in front of your hometown fans and family? Like,
It's I it's pretty awesome because like we're chatting, I only ever fought here once. So nobody has really seen me fight. No one has,
yes,
like, very few people. So even my mom, she's only been to one of my fights.
almost
Uh
two.
two, almost two. So it's like not really anyone has seen my dad has only seen me fight once.
Yeah, that's
Uh
exciting.
so there's so many people in my family who've never seen me fight. They're always like, "When are you gonna fight here? When are you gonna fight here?"
Yeah,
So to have that and to have so much support too, honestly, even like with sponsorships, so many people have come out and helped me out. Not even just businesses, some just friends.
yeah.
They're like, "I'll sponsor you 250."
Yeah.
Like so it's kind of cool. It's gonna be
Yeah, it's
fun.
quite the feeling, right? And well, I know what it feels like, so I can say I know what it feels like. But yeah, like just again you don't even realize it till you actually do it, but, like, how many friends, how many businesses support you in your journey, right? And that's a pretty cool feeling to, you know, have that support. I definitely get that. So yeah, no, that's super cool. Um, well, let's jump into your opponent. So, what do you know about your opponent, Ryan, from Louisiana? That's
Well, I know that he has a lot of fights. He
yeah,
has over 40 fights professionally. But most are MMA.
right.
I couldn't actually find any of his boxing ones online.
Okay.
So I'm kind of just going by his last pro amateur. I mean pro mixed martial arts fight.
MMA fight. Yeah.
Yeah. And so going off of that one, he's kind of like flat-footed. He likes to brawl kinda. Um but he has a strong left hook and
Yeah.
a strong overhand right. So, yeah, I don't know much about him, but I from what I've seen, I feel like I can outbox him. I think I'm
Okay.
gonna be able to
Cool.
outbox him.
I don't know. Well, I actually found a fight. I don't know why you didn't,
A
but
boxing one?
yes,
Well, send it to me.
it's on YouTube. We'll have to
Is
look
it?
again, but
Man,
yeah, that's where
I was
that's where I've,
looking for boxing. So I was like, I wonder if he boxes differently or not.
yeah. Honestly, I haven't watched any of his MMA to
Yeah.
tell you the truth, and for that reason. But yeah, I did run into one fight, and yeah, it was entertaining start to finish, and he actually gets dropped in the match, and he gets up and finishes the fight hard and strong, right? So he definitely has a chin. Um, Again, most of his experience is in MMA, but
Yeah.
as we know, professional fighting is a whole new ball game, and it's cool to see that. And I've been talking with him, just finishing up details with the stuff for to get him here, right? He's from Louisiana to make sure all his stuff is in place for the medicals and such. And yeah, it seems like a great guy. So it's exciting to see a punch him in the face when he gets here.
Yeah. I'm excited. And I'm
Yeah,
excited because the other thing I did notice is it's not like he's been knocked out a bunch. Like his losses have been decisions, lots
yeah,
of them.
yeah,
He has a lot of decision losses, which means he's like a tough. Like, it's gonna be a fight,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's kind of like that's what I like.
yeah.
Like my favorite fight I ever had was against Kamani,
Mhm.
and we just stood,
Toe to
and
toe.
and it was just kind of like it wasn't a brawl, but it was like boxing on the inside,
Right.
and it was my favorite fight. It was like the one that I got to fight like I fight the most.
Yeah. No, that's always awesome when you
So
can
I'm excited
make
for that.
that happen. Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, with that, adding to that, like I said, I talked to Ryan. He's super excited to come. Um, yeah, I know, again, judging from the match that I did watch on YouTube, yeah, I know it's going to be a good match. And again, right, doing this show, I promised myself I didn't want, even for you, it's your pro debut. Yes, but I don't want any, you know, quick blowouts, unmatched, not matched well. Not saying that it won't be knockouts, but if it's a knockout, it's a deserved earned knockout, right? It's
Right.
not handed to you by, having a completely easy match, right? Because that's the way it works sometimes. And I don't want to be I don't want to be having three matches, boom, 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 right? You guys all have competitive opponents that will be there and put on a show. So that's something that's cool that definitely focusing on. And you know obviously we want you to win, but we're not putting a easy guaranteed, win in front of you, right? You're gonna have to earn it when you get in there, right? So that's super exciting that you took on that challenge also, right? Because we could have got you a bum,
Right.
that would be out in 30 seconds, and we don't want that. We want entertaining matches for the fans, right? So, and I think you and especially the fans will be thankful for that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, so you don't know too much about opponents. What's been the hardest part of your preparation for your pro debut? Have you been doing anything different than you would do for your amateur fights?
Um, no, honestly, my training is pretty similar. Um, I think I spar more. That's the one thing is, like for amateur, I don't spar hard very often.
Yeah,
It's just like tech stuff, high pace stuff, and then sometimes like 60, 70%, like a little bit harder.
yeah,
But now I'm like bringing Hunter in and we're doing like some pretty decent rounds and just like I'm traveling lots too to go get good sparring in. I was just in Edmonton at Marshall. And that's something that I didn't really do in amateur. I just sparred who was around here.
right.
So I think just like taking a little bit more, just being a little bit more serious about the who I'm training with and just like getting my sessions in, making sure that like I'm boxing this many times a week. I'm getting my runs in, I'm getting my strength training in, and not making those excuses of like, I don't need to do this today, like whereas amateur, like that's the thing with amateurs. I never got like I was never nervous or anything because I was just having fun. It was just
Right.
like it was just fun. Like I like fighting people, you know?
Yeah, fair enough.
So for this, it feels serious. It feels like I know I'm still gonna have fun and I'm
Yeah,
still having fun training, but it feels like it means something now.
yeah, no, that totally makes sense. And yeah, like you said, it's a whole new ball game, and yeah, and losing matters a lot more now in professional, right? And again, obviously in your hometown, you don't want to be the guy who's not having your hand raised, right? So added pressure probably hopefully helps you in your training. But like you said, with the sparring and stuff, and like you said about the amateurs, right? That's what amateurs are for, to get that experience, win or lose, right? So yeah, no, this is the pro. I totally see what you're saying there, and yeah, it's super exciting, and with the nerves for you, it's cool seeing that because you are such a calm person, and it's hard to get reactions out of you a lot of times, except for laughter. We laugh a
Yeah.
lot, right? But you know, just
That's my
to
go-to for everything.
yeah, yeah, right. Laughter
If I'm
makes the
sad, I
world go round.
laugh. If I'm happy, I laugh. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the way to go, and I really love that, and I try to live like that too. Because yeah, you can't laugh. If you can't laugh, you're in big trouble. Um, yeah, so, yeah, preparation's pretty similar, just more sparring.
And then just
Um,
like also just like the food is a lot more, like I have once a week, like it's not even really a cheat day, but I'll have like one or two extra things.
yeah, yeah,
But like Monday to Saturday, and the reason Sunday is my cheat day is because I usually do a really long run.
okay, so
Uh
you're really earning
yeah,
it.
and then I like ice cap today. Sometimes it's an after 8 chocolate bar.
Yeah, no, fair
But
enough.
Monday to Saturday, it's pretty strict, and it's been nice because
You gotta take your shirt off now, so
yeah,
you gotta you gotta you wanna look I well, yeah, you gotta take your shirt off, period.
yeah.
That's a big thing. Obviously, again, back to you don't wanna lose, right? So, putting that prep and like you said, an amateur, if you lose, especially if you're not in town, you're losing in Calgary or whatever, and, you have a few fans or whatever, but, there is the internet, but again, it's amateur. If you win, lose, or draw, you're gaining experience and right, and that's what you're doing for this,
Mhm.
right? This pretty pretty exciting. Um Well, what can the crowd expect out of you come June 13th? I know you kinda answered this, but go in a little more detail.
I mean, I think for people who have seen me fight or seen me spar, I think I'm known for having my cardio is pretty good. You know, I throw a lot of punches. Um, so I guess that's the biggest thing in my mind is transitioning that amateur style into pro and learning how to do that. I guess that's kind of the thing that's been in the back of my mind is, you know, sitting down on more punches maybe. Whereas some like with amateur, I would maybe throw 6 or 7 and have 1 or 2 that I would sit down on
Sometimes none,
and sometimes none.
right? Just trying to
Exactly.
get those points.
So to transition that where it's like more sitting down, more power is the thing that I've been trying to uh figure out with my style. And seeing so that's gonna be the biggest thing is seeing that come to life in the
In
match.
increase of power, long
Yeah,
story short. That's exciting. Yeah, no, that's exactly like what you're saying, right? The difference is your well, I mean, not that you're not trying to hurt the person in amateur, but, the odds are a lot better hurting the person in pro,
right.
with the smaller gloves, no headgear, all that, so
And it's exciting because that's another thing is like I'm pretty good at body work, you know? So
yeah.
to be able to just give her to the body, I'm pretty excited about that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's pretty painful.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially again with the small gloves and stuff and the right body shot. Yeah,
yeah.
it's undescribable.
I mean, like with 16-ounce gloves sparring, I drop somebody with a body shot how many times a month, you know? Like I'm sparring every Wednesday and I'll just make somebody stop first, you know? So it's like with small gloves that are like right out of the bag.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like pretty excited about that part.
yeah, they are right out of the bag. They are brand new, sponsored by Stings, so that's exciting. Yeah, they're pretty sweet gloves. Can't wait to see Logan's gloves, custom made. Um, yeah, no, that's super exciting. Yeah, the body shots, I totally could see that. Yeah, they hurt. So again, another reason you want to have the six pack, not just because you have your shirt off, but to help protect against those vicious body shots. Um, yeah. So we'll pause this or
We
something.
don't gotta pause it.
Oh, no pause. Okay. All right.
Silence is good.
Silence. All right. Yeah. So off the top of my head, so like thinking back to when you started with combat sports, I know you were pretty young at Shears, I believe, right? Um, did you ever think like when the first day you walked in the gym and looking to fight, looking to punch people, get punched, whatever? Did you ever think that you would be turning professional and fighting in your hometown in front of 1,000 people and being able to do this in your hometown or just being featured as a professional athlete in and did you ever well did you ever think that that would happen kind of thing what were your thoughts when you first walked into the gym?
Uh, I,
How
I,
does it feel? Just kidding.
I kind of did because
Yeah.
how do you like it?
Yeah, how do you like all that pressure?
I kind of did. It was kind of ever since I was a teenager. Um, Pretty much my whole family was in combat sports. My dad, my uncles, like the Smith family in boxing.
Yeah.
They're pretty well known. And then on my mom's side, my aunties were all like
What?
kickboxers, MMA fighters. Like my auntie Charmaine, she fought Ronda Rousey. She fought
Shut the front
Cyborg.
door. How did you not tell me about this?
I don't know.
Oh, probably because it's MMA.
So like that's kind of how I got into everything is just because everyone around me was doing it.
Yeah.
So then, like, I always thought about, like, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind I'm gonna compete. I'm gonna, it kind of came naturally to me. I was always like decent, but then that was kind of a bad thing because I didn't train hard for a long time because
Yeah.
I could go to sparring and do well. And I'm like, man, I don't need to train. Party, party, party. And it didn't, like, it was like not till 27, 28 when I actually started training properly.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
then, which is like, I'm actually kind of a little bit grateful for, I guess, like, just because I didn't take a bunch of damage, in my 20s and stuff, so it just happened how it happened, but like I kind of always had it in the back of my head, like I'm gonna fight one day. And
okay.
even like another goal of mine is to fight in Thailand, do one Muay Thai fight in Thailand. And I'm
Mm.
gonna do that.
Oh,
I'm gonna
nice.
do that in the next 4 years.
4 years.
It's on my bucket list. Just to
Oh,
do one fight in Thailand.
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that totally makes sense. I drew a blank there. I totally didn't even think of, yeah, you come from, family that's been in the ring many a times. Um, yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Um, what else do I got? I am making a pro debut. You haven't been in front of your family too much. You said dad's seen you box once
And Winnipeg
in Winnipeg.
or Brand, whatever. One of the
Yeah.
two. Winnipeg or
Manitoba.
Manitoba.
Let me guess, you didn't get a medal.
No, I didn't.
Manitoba, stop being so cheap.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. I
Um,
can't understand how they don't give medals or anything for getting, as and they're
don't be
athletes.
so cheap.
They're athletes like,
I know.
everybody, right?
Can't
It's like you
remember
get
what.
in there, blood, sweat, and tears, blood's flying, and you don't even have anything to, well, you have your book, I guess, to remember
That's
to
all.
remember it, but
It's the only reason I do half the things I do is for the medal.
yeah, well, and I look at my stuff, I lost a bunch over the years, but I see that medal from North Dakota in
Yeah.
1994 that I would have never remembered that fight. But then
Right.
I think back, oh yeah, Newtown, blah blah blah. I fought with third degree sunburn. It
Mm.
reminds me of that story, right? So, that's the part about medals and trophies. Yeah, they might, to some promoters or whatever, might not mean much to them, but it's for the athletes, it means a lot, and that's part of the big reason I like doing all out with our belts, and it's a lot of money involved with it, but these kids fight that much harder, and adults, right? Everybody fights harder because they want those beautiful belts, and
Right.
that's another part of what makes our shows great. But everybody's boxing start hard to finish, no matter where you're boxing, right? If you have that boxer mentality, you're going for the W every single time. Win or lose, you're going for it, right?
The
So,
the funny thing about that is anytime I didn't get a medal, Demi would design one and order it.
aw,
So she has medals on the ones that I didn't get a medal for. And she has like the date and where it was engraved on it.
oh, that's perfect. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about. Because 20 years from now, you would probably never remember it, right? But you're gonna look at that medal and see the dates and then you're gonna like, oh yeah, so that totally makes sense. And yeah, that's awesome. I wish I had a Demi back then to
Yeah.
make me make me medals and stuff. But yeah, no, that's super cool because yeah, I tell boxers all the time, right? Like, keep all your shit,
Right.
especially the silver medals, and keep those programs that you're at that event in Vancouver or Nova Scotia or whatever, right? Because you know, I did keep a lot. I have a lot. I lost a lot too, but it's cool just seeing that stuff, seeing yourself as a
Yeah.
15-year-old, yeah, it's pretty cool. So for all you boxers out there, save your shit
Yeah.
because it's pretty priceless. So, um, pro wise, what are your long term goals like? obviously this being your debut.
Yeah. So I guess like I'm not super young.
Oh, you're young. You got lots of years left.
I want to be done boxing by the time I'm 40.
40?
So I got like 4.5 years. It would be nice to do 2 to 3 fights a year. Uh and then it would be nice to do like fight for at least one belt, you know? So it'd be nice to have a couple fights and then have a couple like step up fights and then have, depending on how it all goes.
Maybe we could have another cruiserweight Canadian champion from Saskatoon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's the goal, is to fight for a belt and then yeah, probably call it after that.
All right, all right. Well, hopefully no time soon. Well, once you have a belt, but like I
It'd
said,
be nice to
you
have
got some
like
time.
around 10 fights would be perfect, I think.
That would be, yeah.
2 to 3 a year. By the time I'm 38, 39, have 10 fights.
It's a good, yeah, that's a great goal.
Get comfortable.
Yeah.
I
And
want to be comfortable in there, like, get in
oh,
there,
yeah,
get comfortable.
I'm sure you will. It's like riding a bike. Honestly, like I remember my first pro fight. Like I said, it was against a Mexican guy. There was a heck load. This guy was pretty dirty. He actually he actually got sent back like a few years later. Like he defected during the Panam Games. He stayed in Winnipeg, whatever. He actually got kicked out of Canada because um, they actually like attacked people in Nova Scotia fighting out there, and like, just did a bunch of shit. But anyway, he got deported, and yeah, that guy anyway, he was very, I got elbowed and headbutted. My eye was closed shut, and yeah, it can hurt, right? There's a lot more vulnerability with elbows and headbutts and stuff, right? So um, yeah, that is definitely the biggest, I think the biggest difference. But in that time is like it hurt, but it didn't hurt. Like it's the losing part that hurts.
Right.
And like as you know, pain is pretty temporary, especially from headbutts, and that's just temporary pain that, losing's way more painful than having a black eye or a sore
Yeah.
nose or whatever, right? So definitely, like I said, you're doing the right things, being fully prepared for it, and then you don't have no regrets, right? It's when you compete and you didn't train properly and didn't put all effort into your preparation, then especially in pro, then you would never want you don't want that feeling, right? So you're doing the
Like
right things there. That's
losing
awesome.
losing to somebody you shouldn't have lost to.
Is the worst feeling in the world,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's definitely how a lot of matches go because, you can be all the skill in the world, but if you don't put the preparation in, a guy that put the preparation in is gonna beat you in, over half the time because
Right.
skill can only take you so far. But it can get you pretty far too. Um, what else we got going on? Oh, well, how does it feel to be, your first pro match, being on the undercard of a WBA world title
Yeah.
fight and, Logan Toontown Terror Cluche, being on the undercard of two amazingly, high profile bouts. How does that one feel? For your first pro fight, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is if my fight sucks, you got two really good boxers coming right after me.
I guess, but we know it's not gonna suck because
No,
yeah,
that's cool. It's a cool opportunity, to be on the undercard of a world title fight.
your first match.
My first match.
Yeah, that's
That's
pretty.
wild.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited for the whole event.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a cool experience. Um, yeah, just excited. I'm grateful.
Well, we're definitely grateful to have you, and yeah, it's exciting to again, bring it to Saskatoon and being able to feature guys like you and Logan and Alexis, um, and again, hitting a whole new demographic of fans and stuff, right? Bringing in the pros and, hopefully, bring it well, we are bringing in a lot more, businesses and followers and stuff, so this is gonna open the doors to a lot more in the future, right? And if we can get those guys seeing what a pro boxing event looks like and how exciting and how exciting it can be and how exciting it will be, then they come back and then, eventually, I don't know if you remember KO Boxing. I fought for them quite a few times, had on Sportsnet and such, but they had a great system. They'd have like 3 shows a year downtown Edmonton, Friday nights, and they had 50 tables sold before they even announced the fight or announced anything, right?
Mm.
Because they just had a great following of business people that supported their cause, and yeah, that's kind of the goal here. So this is the first step. So yeah, thanks for being a big part of it. Stare you through the phone.
What are we
We're
at?
not making eye contact. 1 hour, 2 minutes, 4 seconds. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you could take over this whenever you need. Look at you.
Ah, well, nah. Uh, I'll still. Well, yeah, yeah, no. But yeah, thanks for letting me do this. It's been fun.
Yeah, this was
It's
cool.
yeah, I'm sure might get another one in before maybe closer to the event. We're gonna see lots of advertising. I know we're CTV's coming to the gym on Wednesday that you're gonna be part of. So we'll
6 a.m.
yeah, 6 a.m. So yeah, we'll get that in. And then yeah, lots of media attention this is bringing. So it's exciting to bring it to the general public.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm excited, man. So thank you, anyways. Thank you for putting this together
Oh,
and
like
making it easy on my end. I know it hasn't been easy on your end.
yeah, yeah, I definitely not that I didn't have appreciation for promoters and stuff before. Um, but yeah, I definitely have a lot more I guess not I've always been appreciative, but yes, like definitely more open the eyes to what goes on and just experiencing all the little things. And I know I haven't even hit half of it, I'm sure yet, but it's been quite the journey. And yeah, it's just exciting to have you part of it. And Kopas Boxing Series 11 Homecoming, featuring Logan Kluche in the main event. And then again, our world title fight, WBA, Lexus Kubicki. And last but not least, Cole Smith and his pro debut. So pretty exciting to be part of it. And yeah, thanks for being a part of it. Thanks for being you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Bet you don't hear that too much. Thanks for being you.
Yeah. And then I just want to give a huge shout out to Demi because like she's a new mom again,
Yeah.
right pretty much right when I started training for this fight, a couple months later. So like going from one boy to two and then now me just like
Three. Don't lie.
so I guess
Three kids.
three kids. But like I'm not home much now just because I'm training twice a day. Plus like I'm still doing a bunch of community stuff. But just her being able to just adapt to the situation and she has long days and then sometimes no sleep at night and but she's just like handling business and she's just doing a lot and there's no way I could do this without her. So I just want to give a huge shout out to Demi. um she's she's incredible. And she's the only reason I can even train properly for this fight.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Having a great support system and a great wife supporting you through this stuff is definitely a blessing for sure. I definitely know how it feels. So yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Demi, for keeping this guy in what's the word? Keeping him focused, keeping him going.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's totally such a gift that you know, as you're saying, right? You can't show enough appreciation for support like that. So yeah, no, it's awesome. And yeah, again, thank you to Headrush, thank you to Nasimsuck, Fun Motor Group, and DJ EXL as our champion sponsors. And thank you, Cole, for coming on, which I don't know what they call it offhand, but yeah. I got nothing. I got no. I can't. Sandman. Sandman does
Yeah.
podcasts.
Thanks for having me on.
You're very welcome.